The Coffeehouse Debate, Part 2. The atmosphere grows heavier as the sun shifts slightly, casting long shadows across the wooden table. Liam crosses his arms, clearly unsettled but unwilling to yield. David leans back, watching him closely, patient but resolute. Liam, gritting his teeth slightly, you can keep pushing this induction problem, but let's move on to something that actually matters to people, morality. You Christians love to think you've got a monopoly on it, but I don't need your God to know right from wrong. Morality is evolutionary. It's societal. It's just what works best for groups to survive. David, tilting his head, speaking calmly, so according to you, morality is just what works. Morality is a social convenience? That's it? Liam, nodding firmly. Exactly. What helps humans flourish? That's what we call moral. We've evolved these instincts over millions of years. Cooperation, fairness, they help us survive. We don't need some divine referee in the sky to tell us what's good. David, leaning forward again, voice sharpening. But if that's the case, Liam, then morality is nothing more than preference. If one society prefers peace and another prefers genocide, on what basis can you say one is objectively better than the other? You're stuck with moral relativism. Liam, bristling. I can say that one is more beneficial to the survival of our species. David, firmly. Beneficial to whom? To what end? Who decides that species survival is the ultimate good? What if someone values power over survival? What if one culture chooses to dominate and destroy others because it gives them pleasure and they survive by crushing the weak? If you say that's wrong, you've stepped outside pure evolution. You've stepped into moral objectivity. Liam, raising his voice. There's still consensus. We can build morality from human agreement. David, coldly now, unblinking. Liam, consensus does not create morality. If it did, then Nazi Germany was moral when the majority agreed. Slaveholding societies were moral when they consented. Consensus without an objective moral law is just mob rule. Liam falters, looking away, grinding his teeth in frustration. David, pressing the advantage. You can't get from is to ought. You observe what people do, but you can't tell me why they should do anything. Why should I care about your version of human flourishing? Why should I care about someone else's survival? If I'm stronger, why shouldn't I just take what I want? Liam, muttering. Because you wouldn't want someone to do that to you. David, quietly but firmly. That's self-interest. That's not morality. That's self-preservation. Real morality says I should do what's right, even if it costs me, even if it brings me pain, even if I get nothing in return. But if all we are is matter in motion, flesh machines following chemical impulses, then morality is just a chemical preference, no binding force, no true right or wrong, just taste. Liam, growing visibly angry. So you think only your Bible can explain morality? David, softly but piercing. No, I believe the God of the Bible is the only foundation for why objective moral laws exist and why they apply to all people, at all times, in all places, because those laws come from his holy nature, which does not change. Without him, you're arguing over which flavor of ice cream is superior, but pretending you're discussing absolute truth. Liam tightens his grip on his coffee cup, his frustration simmering. David's steady gaze doesn't waver. David, gently now. And what about your senses, Liam? You trust your sight, your hearing, your reasoning. But in your worldview, those are just accidents, unguided processes that evolved for survival, not truth. Why should you trust that the chemical soup in your brain produces reliable thoughts? Evolution favors survival, not necessarily accurate beliefs. Liam, irritated. Because they've worked so far, we've advanced as a species. David, quickly, work to survive, not work to tell the truth. If your brain is,